The 2019 NHL Awards was held last night in Las Vegas. In today's video, we're going to recap all the winners and give you my thoughts. Coming up next. Welcome back here to Top Shelf Hockey. So as I mentioned, last night was the 2019 NHL Awards in Las Vegas, and I must say the NHL did a pretty good job of putting on a fairly entertaining show. I know there's been times in the past when certainly the comedic side of it was not real great, but they did a pretty good job last night. There was one or two things that were probably a little bit cringy in my opinion, but overall, it was a fairly entertaining show, so good job to them for making it somewhat entertaining. Now let's jump in here into a recap of the winners in case you missed it. The big winner of the night by far was Tampa Bay Lightning forward Nikita Kucherov. Now, of course, we already knew heading into this award show that some of these awards were already kind of determined based on stats, with Kucherov winning the Hart trophy for the most points in the regular season. Of course, he had an absolutely phenomenal year, and it was no surprise to see him leaving with a lot of hardware. Not only did he get the Hart trophy, but he also won the Hart trophy for most valuable player to his team last night, and he won by a fair margin as well. And he was also given the Ted Lindsay Award, which is voted on by his peers, the players, as the most valuable in the league here as well. So certainly a big night for Nikita Kucherov. Obviously, Tampa Bay went down 4 straight games in the playoffs. Did not go well for what they were planning to do here. But many of the Tampa Bay Lightning players certainly had terrific regular seasons, and we saw a fair bit of Lightning representation at the awards for being nominated for different things. Of course, it wasn't just Kucherov. His fellow countryman and teammate Andrei Vasilevskiy won the Vezina Trophy, so that's his first Vezina under his belt. He's had a terrific few years here since taking over as a starter in Tampa from Ben Bishop. Of course, he was up against Ben Bishop as well and Robin Lehner for the Vezina. Bishop finished second in voting. Lehner was third in that regard. So certainly another big year from Andrei Vasilevskiy. Of course, we also saw Victor Hedman be nominated for the Norris Trophy for top defenseman. Unfortunately, he did not come away with the hardware. That went to Calgary Flames longtime defender Mark Giordano, who certainly had an awesome season as well. Especially at his age to accomplish what he did, it's certainly phenomenal. He still looks pretty good, and he commented during his acceptance speech that he still feels young and fresh. So we'll see how long he can keep it going at a high level here. But it was certainly great to see the Calgary Flame defender be recognized. Of course, the other Tampa Bay connection here for being nominated was Coach John Cooper, who, even though they've had a lot of great regular seasons in Tampa, has never won the Jack Adams Trophy. He was up against Craig Berube, of course, who won the Stanley Cup with the St. Louis Blues, but only took over, partway through the years as interim coach, and then also Barry Trotz of the New York Islanders. Even though Berube went on to win the Stanley Cup with the Blues, I don't think he didn't get quite enough votes just because he wasn't there for the whole year. But Barry Trotz ended up walking away with the hardware. Obviously, a major turnaround story there on Long Island. Barry Trotz certainly did a terrific job and really, changing the defensive systems and really cutting back on the goals against. Obviously, having big years from their goaltenders certainly helped a lot too, but overall, Barry Trotz was a terrific addition and was a big part of the reason why they had a lot of success there on Long Island. Of course, it wasn't a huge surprise to see Vancouver Canucks rookie Elias Pettersson be recognized with the Calder Trophy as the league's top rookie. He had a phenomenal year and really early on in the season certainly wrapped it up, in my opinion, and had this award all but clinched a long time ago. I know Canucks fans were quite excited to see him win, and we're a little bit nervous that he may not actually win, but really I had absolutely no doubt about this one. Pettersson had a phenomenal season. Looks like he could possibly be a franchise player for the Canucks longer term, and certainly was recognized. It was also a very nice gesture on Pettersson's part to recognize Jason Botchford as well, who covered the Canucks quite closely for a long time, but recently, passed away at a young age, so it was nice to see him recognize him as well. But I'm sure overall Canucks fans were thrilled to see Pettersson be recognized. St. Louis Blues forward and recent Conn Smythe Trophy winner Ryan O'Reilly continued his excellent week here. Obviously won the Stanley Cup, won the Conn Smythe Trophy. Now he goes to the NHL Awards and wins the Selke Trophy for the league's top defensive forward. Certainly was in some great company along with Patrice Bergeron and Mark Stone. Based on the balloting that I've seen afterwards, looks as though Mark Stone was in second place with Bergeron finishing third, but O'Reilly won by a fair bit, but Stone was a relatively close second, so it's nice to see Stone be recognized as well. He certainly has had some terrific seasons, leading the lead in takeaways on numerous occasions as well. So they both had solid years, but O'Reilly is another guy who for a long time has been a really solid two-way forward. It's nice to see him finally get a little bit more recognition here as well. Alexander Barkov of the Florida Panthers was given the Lady Byng Trophy as the league's most gentlemanly player. So obviously amongst many of the top scorers, he had some of the fewest penalty minutes, and that certainly went a long ways to helping him win this award as well. Of course, the Islanders goaltending tandem of Robin Lehner and Thomas Greiss were given a Jennings Trophy, which were the lowest goals against average. But of course, we already knew that heading in because that was based on statistics, along with Alex Ovechkin winning the Rocket Richard Trophy for leading the NHL for most goals. King Clancy Award for community contributions went to Minnesota Wild forward Jason Zucker. Of course, Zucker's been a player mentioned quite a bit in NHL trade rumors. They've come really close to trading him here on multiple occasions, but he was recognized last night for all his work in the community with the King Clancy Award. And the Mark Messier Leadership Award ended up going to veteran forward Wayne Simmons, who split the year between the Philadelphia Flyers and the Nashville Predators and now finds himself here as an unrestricted free agent. Wayne Simmons was not present last night to accept the award, so he wasn't there, but he was recognized with the Messier Leadership Trophy. The finalists this year for the Bill Masterton Trophy for perseverance and dedication to hockey was Robin Lehner, Joe Thornton, and Nick Foligno. They all had some pretty good stories here, but Robin Lehner ended up being the winner, which was not a big shocker here. Robin Lehner's really gone through quite a bit in the past few years, and obviously this year at the beginning of the NHL season really opened up about his battles with mental health issues and addiction. With that, Lehner revealed for the first time in his NHL career he really had a lot of his mental health issues under control and had battled the substance abuse issues of the past. So he's really come a long way, and to have a phenomenal year like he did. And one key thing in his speech, which was an incredible speech last night, he said he is not ashamed to say that he's mentally ill, but that does not mean he is mentally weak. And he really wants to help push to end the stigma. Of course, there's lots of awareness campaigns we've seen about mental health issues, and it's nice to see a guy like Robin Lehner really stand up and really help push that message along. Certainly, hopefully, will go a long way to helping end the stigma, but Robin Lehner is one heck of a guy. I'm glad to see him have success here. He's been through a lot, and it's nice to see him, really be in a good place here for the first time in a long time. And in my opinion, probably the best moment of the night involved one of the fans here, which is Allison Whitehead, who was the young boy you remember from the Carey Price video when he got to meet Carey Price. I believe it was in Toronto during a Habs practice when they were in town to play the Leafs. Of course, Anderson unfortunately had lost his mom to cancer, and one of the things that she was trying to promise him before she lost her battle was for him to meet his idol, Carey Price. And fortunately for him, that was able to happen afterwards. Of course, the moment captured on camera between him and Carey Price was a terrific hockey moment, which really goes to show how great a lot of hockey players really are with the fans. And of course, that was recognized last night as the feel-good moment of the season. Carey Price ended up surprising him to come out on stage. Beginning of the segment, it was revealed that Carey Price wasn't able to be there, but sent a message via video. And then partway through the video stopped, and he surprised him and came out on stage. And of course, the young man got all emotional again, broke down in tears, but it was quite a nice moment between the two here. Carey Price has really been phenomenal with this young guy. I gave him another signed jersey and is going to be making arrangements for him to go to the NHL All-Star Game in the coming season. So it was another really touching moment, and goes to show just how great many of the NHL hockey players are. Hockey players really are the best, and it's always great to hear these really nice stories. So that is all the recap here from the NHL Awards. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on the show in general and what you thought of the award winners, and we can continue the discussion in the comments section. If you're new to the channel, I hope you consider subscribing. We cover all 31 NHL teams, and there's plenty of content here for all hockey fans who enjoy, so stay tuned for plenty more videos. It's going to be a very busy news couple of weeks here in the NHL between the draft and free agency, so stay tuned for all kinds of videos coming soon. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time.